The Xbox ROG Ally has kind of been leaked on Amazon with an infographic that popped up, but it has now been taken down. But we will take a look at that. Xbox is now going to allow ARM-based PCs download games via the Xbox app. Grounded 2 is extremely successful. Obsidian knocks it out of the park again as we have an update of the amount of people playing it. We have some information about Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which is going to be huge. They have Battlefield 6 now on their heels, so they're going to have to come out with a good offering this year. Stalker 2 gets a major update. So we will talk about all of this stuff, plus a bunch of other things as well, with some more updates to games. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy daily gaming news and content, make sure to hit the subscribe, share the video, like it. All of that great stuff helps the channel out. For now, let's get into the news. So the ROG Xbox Ally is just around the corner here, at least from where we're going to get more information at Gamescom. The rumors now is that pre-orders are starting August 20th and that the handheld will be releasing August 16th. So it isn't very far either way. Once we get the Gamescom information, we're going to be able to start putting your pre-orders in. And then just a month or so, 2 months, by the time you're going to be able to actually get your hands on it. There's two versions of it. There is the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X. And from what we've seen so far from the leaked prices, at least in euros, there's a $300 difference between them. So consumers are going to have to ask, is it worth that extra $300 for the ROG Ally X? And I'm sure there will be people out there who give us that benchmark and the information as to what games and how they run differently between the two versions of it. But now we have an Amazon listing that has appeared, which is all pointing more towards the imminent launch and pre-order of this device. Now, it's been taken down, but it had some information in there, really giving you a look at this thing. It says here, ahead of the system's reported pre-order drop during Gamescom 2025, Amazon listed the base ROG Xbox Ally console before removing it. And here are the pictures in the infographic that they did put up. It says the power of Xbox, freedom of Windows, power on directly into Xbox, full screen experience with access to your full library of PC games. And this is what I'm most interested in, is just how well does this Xbox full screen experience work on the handhelds in terms of ease of use, because just using Windows 11 on these PC handhelds I do not like, but also what it does for the performance of games, the battery life of the games. Is it really going to help improve upon that? Or is it just a skin overlay that doesn't help in those things whatsoever? It does say your full library of PC games at some point. Hopefully we're going to be getting your Xbox console games as well on these handhelds. The Armory Crate SE, they say, is paired with the Xbox Game Bar for quick access, which we've been seeing Xbox continuously improve upon with the quick access bar, adding more features to it. And it is, I believe, directly related to the release of this, as well as future handhelds and devices coming from Xbox in the future. They obviously have that dedicated Xbox button on the device itself, as this is an Xbox handheld. Handheld freedom here for everyone, saying with the AMD Ryzen Z2A processor and 60 watt-hour battery capacity. We will see what the battery life is. That is one of my biggest things here with PC handhelds. Can we finally get one that gives a more reasonable battery life, not like an hour and a half or a max 2 hours if you're playing bigger games? Maybe we get something that can push that 4-hour battery life. I think that would be the sweet spot as of right now with these devices. They talk about the contoured grips inspired by the Xbox wireless control. Happy to see that. I think controls on and the feeling of the handheld is so important. I don't care that much about the overall small portability size of it. It's still portable. It needs to make sure that my fingers and my arms don't fall asleep when holding it like the Nintendo Switch does, unless you get grips on those flat Joy-Cons. Then they talk about the RAM and the upgradable storage, so you can upgrade your overall memory, and then the 120 hertz display here that you are getting, 1080p 120 hertz display, which is perfectly fine for a handheld with a screen of that size. So we will see what the USD pricing is, Canadian pricing, Australian pricing, all of the pricing around the world. But right now we do have it in euros, which is 5.99 euros for this one, and then 8.99 euros for the Ally X, which does have that better chip inside of the device itself. So pretty exciting stuff here. I mean, Gamescom is just a few days away, and we'll get all the information there, and people are going to get hands-on. So I think we'll see a lot more experiences and feedback from community as to what they think about these devices, how games are running, how do they look, how do bigger AAA games run, all of that stuff, and probably comparisons between the Ally and the Ally X. I'm pretty excited for this thing. I've already started saving money for it, selling stuff that I don't need so that I can pick up one of these, because I'm not going to use the other stuff anymore, as this will be probably my main handheld. So we'll see how it all goes here with the pre-orders and the official release here of the ROG Xbox Ally handheld. The Xbox app itself is also now expanding out to ARM in order to allow people to download games. So if you are running a ARM-based Windows 11 PC, Xbox here is going to allow you to actually download the games off of the app itself. It says Microsoft is adding the ability to download ARM64 compatible games to its Xbox app for Windows on ARM, and Windows insiders can now test the new update to the Xbox app that lets them install games locally instead of having to rely on Xbox Cloud Gaming. And this is just another big step here in getting more people to be able to access Xbox no matter what device that they are working on. It does say here that currently the Xbox app on devices like the Qualcomm-powered Surface Pro 12 will only let you play cloud games from the cloud gaming service, but the new update will mean that some ARM64 games from PC Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will be available on Qualcomm-powered devices for the first time. Again, good stuff here, giving more people access, giving more people entry into the ecosystem. And I'm excited to kind of just see how these games run and look, and what games that they will be able to be downloaded. I'm sure we will see comparisons of that, but it's just more signs that everything is an Xbox. Like marketing campaign that they came out with that threw people off a little bit. We're starting to see that really flesh out here with more of these announcements that are happening. Obsidian, they to me are one of the best, maybe if not the best, studios at Xbox, just in terms of the ability to create games and put them out in a reasonable period of time, and those games being good. Grounded was a game that came from the studio that I think was completely out of left field for a lot of people. Not a game you would think about when you're thinking about Obsidian. Game did very well. Grounded 2 here is out, and everything we're seeing about Grounded 2 is that this is a very popular and a very good game as it continues on the success of the first Grounded. And now we have some numbers here on just how well this game is actually doing. It has surpassed the 3 million player mark. So this is a tweet here from Aaron Greenberg, who revealed that the latest numbers from Grounded 2 are over 3 million people jumping into this game. This would be people on PC, people who bought it on PC or on Xbox, and then people, of course, experiencing it through Xbox Game Pass. So another big success. They have added a lot of stuff to this game to improve upon it, and they've made the game better. The other thing here is that this is right now only out on Xbox and PC, but it is not out on PlayStation, which you know it will come to, and the Nintendo Switch 2, which you can pretty much bet as well that it will come to, which they would expand out the user base there. So I think Grounded 2 is going to be a huge success here for Xbox and a huge success here for Oblivion. So cool stuff to see that they have these teams that go off, branch off, and make something that they've thought about that is different from Obsidian RPGs is kind of what you would think about. And they make these games good and are able to be successful. So Grounded 2 doing very well. Another big release here from Xbox, which they've been churning out the games nonstop here for the last number of years. No matter what people think about Xbox and their first party output, it has been very strong here for a while. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, big year for Call of Duty because of now with the competition and the launch of Battlefield 6 coming. The second week for the open beta is coming up this weekend. We'll see if it continues to hold players. I think it will. But Black Ops 7 is the game coming from Call of Duty this year. We're going to see more about it at Gamescom. We're obviously going to get the Call of Duty next, where we get overall more information about the game with beta information and then the actual release date of it. Call of Duty will be strong regardless. What people think about Battlefield 6 taking over, Call of Duty will still be very strong, as it is every single year. But they have to deliver, and the last few ones have been fun. They have been good, and we'll see if they'll be able to do this again with Black Ops 7. But now we're getting some more information just with some stuff that is coming out in terms of maps. So if you're a fan of the classic Black Ops maps, which I am a fan of the classic Black Ops maps, I don't see this as a bad thing whatsoever. I think a lot of people will be happy about this. Black Ops 7 will reportedly have 3 Black Ops 2 maps at launch: Hijacked, Express, and Raiden. And these are maps I think we've played multiple times before, but they will still be popular once they do drop here into Black Ops 7. Go down to the comments. Hope says Raid is the best Call of Duty map of all time. Here are some of the actual maps people want to see come back with some examples. They say they've done these maps so many times they can just remaster the Black Ops 2 maps we haven't had since 2012. So we'll see what the reaction is, but we don't know if this is officially indie game or not, but this is a rumor happening right now that they are going to be bringing back some classic maps. I'm sure on top of new maps they are going to be creating here for Black Ops 7. The other thing that's going around in the rumors for Black Ops 7 is that the tax sprint may not be here. They may take that away from this game, which has been a staple here for many games recently. And going back to a time where we don't have this could be an interesting change if they end up deciding to do this. But they are toying with the idea of removing the tax sprint altogether from Call of Duty Black Ops 7. They say here tax sprint is an auto run mechanic allowing you to move faster in Call of Duty. It comes with a strict penalty, though, a slightly slower time to aim. And many skilled players have been able to master the nuances of the movement, but there are plenty of people who wish it weren't in the game itself. This comes via the Ghost of Hope saying there's currently a build of Black Ops 7 being tested right now that has no tax sprint. This doesn't mean the final game won't have it, but this is a very good sign. So it'll be interesting to see if people do really care if this is gone or if they'll be happy it's gone. I feel like for a lot of people who don't know about all the nuances and the ways that it is moved to give them an advantage, they probably somewhat enjoy being able to move faster. Those people may be somewhat annoyed, but these are just some rumors now as we lead up to the Call of Duty next Gamescom. More information here of Black Ops 7. It should be a fun year here, first person shooters, as we move towards the release of both Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6. All right, Stalker 2 is getting a huge engine overhaul here, and it is going to be coming to the game. It is going to be coming to Xbox Game Pass, but they put out an announcement here with a bunch of stuff that is coming. But one of the things here is the entire engine upgrade. So if you haven't played Stalker 2 yet, this may be a time here to start jumping in and start thinking about jumping in as this is coming. They say the engine upgrade could shake up the timing of their updates. We're taking this risk like true Stalkers would, and we'll do our best to hit our 2025 goals. Stick with us on this journey and keep an eye out for upcoming news, including bigger and exciting ones. Yep, there is news for that too. And specifically when they are talking about what they are going to be doing, the overall comes from an upgrade to Unreal Engine 5.5.4, which alongside new features and tools will also bring the latest optimizations for better stability and performance. And this is planned in 2025. They didn't give us an exact date, but there is a large list of stuff here that you can go and see exactly what is coming here to Stalker 2. So if you haven't played it, maybe don't start right now. Wait until this update does hit, because it is coming this year and it will bring a large amount of improvements to the game, a game that a lot of people do love and really enjoyed when it did come out. It did have its issues, though. It did have some technical issues at launch, and this will improve upon all of those things that have plagued it a little bit here. PUBG, they are ending support here for the Xbox One and PS4 support. We are finally moving to an era where those older consoles that have been around for forever, even though they still have many players on it, some developers are just deciding where they're going to end support for it and just focus on the current generation of consoles that are out there right now. But PUBG is moving on from Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. They say, as previously announced in the 2025 roadmap, preparations have been made to move the console versions of PUBG onto current gen consoles. And unfortunately for the last gen devices, it means the end of official support. So players on the Series X and S and PlayStation 5 will benefit from improved visuals, more stable frame rates, and reduced crashes. But ending support for the old consoles will have people who are probably still out there on the Xbox One and PS4 playing this game. Maybe it's one of the only things that they jump into all the time, having to upgrade in some way if they do want to continue to play the game. This is ending on November 13th, 2025. So if you're out there on the Xbox One or the PS4 and PUBG is a game that you main here, you're going to have to move on after November 13th, 2025. So I think overall this is a good move for the game, a game that will get some nice visual upgrades and everything for it on the current consoles that are out there. It's been out on the PS1 and the Xbox One. It's been out there on the PS4 and the Xbox One long enough. We can move on from those consoles, I think, at this point, as we are almost through this entire generation, still supporting those consoles. And I can see this happening for the entirety of this generation, and maybe even crazy to think about still support for at least the PlayStation 4 to some extent here when the PS6 comes out. I think that will be something that is still happening. inZOI or inZOI or whatever it's called is a game that is coming to the PlayStation 5. It is kind of like a Sims style of game. They announced that they are bringing this over the PlayStation 5 in early 2026, but interesting enough, this comes from developer Crafton. They've announced that the game will be released on the PS5 in early 2026, while an Xbox port is still under consideration. They say, we're excited to announce that inZOI is scheduled to launch on PS5 in 2026. Our team is working hard to bring you the best possible experience on PS5, and an Xbox release is also under consideration, but not yet confirmed. An official release date and additional details will be shared at a later time. This is a game that's on Steam, has mixed reviews, with 47% of the 618 reviews left in the last month giving it a thumbs up. I wonder what they are considering here for releasing it on Xbox. I would think that the fact that they've announced that the port is under consideration but not yet confirmed probably just kind of has to do with, are they able to get the PS5 version ready in time and have it optimized and everything and not have enough resources to actually put it to within an Xbox port? Who knows? But if you are interested in this game, I really don't have any interest in this. I just saw this game pop up and it has an audience for it. The PlayStation version is coming and Xbox version will, I would think, since they said something about it in talks here, will eventually be coming. Just who knows when. Crimson Desert has been delayed to Q1 2026. They are currently in the process here of voiceovers and console certification. Crimson Desert looks absolutely phenomenal. I think this game is going to be really cool. So many mechanics in it. Looks stunning. I can't wait to jump in and try this game out, but it has been delayed until 2026 and they will be marketed at Gamescom and the Tokyo Game Show. So we will see more about this game. Again, this is not a massive surprise, but it seems like they're polishing it. They're getting it ready. They're not going to force it out in a bad state, which is always a good thing for these games. Delay them, especially ones like this that look as ambitious as Crimson Desert. You don't want this thing released with a lot of bugs that to kill the hype for it. There is a lot of hype surrounding this one. So they're hopefully delaying this to make sure that that is not the case and that they can get this thing out in the best possible state. And finally, to end things off here, Gears of War. We know the 25th anniversary of Xbox is coming next year. It's going to be a massive anniversary with Phil Spencer already coming out at the Xbox showcase this year, bringing a Forza, bringing a Gears, and bringing another Halo, even though he didn't officially say that. And Fable as well is coming. But Gears of War EA themselves, the official account here on social media on X, have put in their bio now that this game is coming in 2026. They say Reloaded launches on August 26th, which is just in over 10 days from now. And then Emergence begins in 2026. So Gears of War E-Day is coming next year. Not that we really weren't expecting it to come next year. That was kind of the expectation after the things that were said, but Gears of War have officially put it into their profile here. So they're ramping up. I think this is the beginning of a marketing campaign that they are getting ready to start rolling out, whether it's at Gamescom, whether it's a Tokyo Game Show, whether it's at the Game Awards. I think Game Awards is probably the more likely place where they will start this. And then moving into 2026, where Xbox is probably going to have their own sort of shows with Gears of War E-Day included. Exciting. One of my favorite franchises. I can't wait to play this one. But I'll end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.